All right. So, hey everyone, welcome to today's stream. And we are going to be building out a generative ambient pad in this session. Welcome to the stream. If it's your first time, I'm Danny Xander, and we're going to be diving into Reactor to build out a self-playing uh, generative generative ambient pad. So this is going to be in a few minutes, and if you really love lush, evolving textures for ambient film scoring or sound design, this is definitely for you. Um, First, we're going to jump into Reactor, and when we do, uh, there's two different sections. You can jump into the play section and play instruments. You can jump into the patch section, and we're not going to save those changes. Just going to open it up again. You can jump to the patch section and patch together blocks. They give you a pre-built note in, a clock, stereo levels, and an out. So you just have to focus on putting in the blocks that you want to put in. So like, for example, if you wanted to, let's say, add in an oscillator, you can just do it by the blocks or LFO or mix. You can just do that, and you can add an amp. Then you can connect them up like manually, like so. You get the wire colors. You can actually change the color of the wires. Let's say we want those to be orange. We can do some, let's say we can connect this to the out port and the amp to the out. And we can remove the mix. We're just going to get a basic sound going. So this would go to that, and the LFO would go to our modulation source. So that can be a different color. So as soon as we turn it on, we get some sound. We're just using blocks. We're not using the environment, but you can open up the environment to see what you did and how you built that out. And as you can see, everything's connected up. It's just an easier way to build things out, I guess, visually using the blocks only. You can just see the blocks and patch them together, more of like a modular rack style of build. But today we're going to actually jump in, and we are going to start a new one. We're going to do a new ensemble. So we're going to start from here, and we're going to go straight to the build. And we're going to start everything from scratch. So if you were with us last episode, we did something generative. This time we're going to do a generative pad. And the first things we need are an oscillator. So we're going to bring in the oscillator that we need. We also need a note in, just like we saw previously in the blocks section, the second option to build out using the reactor blocks. We need to add the same components basically that any oscillator would need. This is like a note. This is a note in. We've got a sine, and we're gonna add one more oscillator. We'll make this one our sawtooth, and then we'll name our oscillators: oscillator 1, oscillator 2, so we don't get confused with which oscillator is which. And then we're gonna add in a mix 4. So that will be this. And then this will give us a fuller sound when we're mixing them in. We can mix them in together, so it'll give us a fuller sound. We can connect the mix to the audio output, which is here, and we can just do that now, just to give a demo. This gives us a fuller sound overall because we're connecting both oscillators independently and then connecting them to the pitch. and finally they're going out. We got our left and right. Our note in should go on this side, just organizing our panel. So we can reset our knobs. We're going to want some amp control to go out, just so we have a little control over the volume. So we're going to need a mix. Let's just see why it's doing that. Okay, that's that oscillator. So we got a basic sound. Now we can add in a sequencer. And a filter. So I'm going to bring in a filter. So I'm actually going to need a mix. We'll connect it this way. We'll change that for a mix 4. And we're still able to blend our tones. Give some movement with a little bit of detuning. Okay, so now we can add a little bit of sequencing. Connecting this to the pitch. Bringing in our oscillators. We'll bring in a clock so that we don't have to play the notes ourselves. And let the clock play for us. filter it. Add a little resonance. A little bit of key tracking so it gets louder on the higher notes or quieter on the high notes. Okay, and then we'll move our clock. We'll just position our blocks in the right order, just so things are neat and tidy. Then we will add in some reverb. So we got ourselves a pad. More ambient style pad. Can add a little bit of movement to it to make it more exciting by bringing in an LFO on the second oscillator. So there we have it. We've created our random subtlety with an LFO. We built out our oscillator, filter, and mixed the two oscillators together. And this is the result we're left with. We can patch in more things to our generative system, but I'll leave that up to you for your creativity to decide what you want to add to your modular rack. And there you have it, a self-playing ambient pattern reactor. And you can tweak the modulation, add more layers, or even introduce effects like delay for more depth. And if you enjoyed this, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And also, if you want to learn more about sound design in Reactor, check out the sound design course in this link in the description below. And let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next. And thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.